Red flag. Once again, he shows his selfishness. When she thought that they were going to do something that she wanted to do, he still ended up doing what he wanted to do. This whole trip was about him. From the beginning, everything just goes to him. The pattern is there. And this is why I do the case studies. I don't do these case studies just to drag people and say red flags and laugh and kiki. I mean, that's part of it because it's a little funny. Just a little kiki, you know. And hell, if y'all want to do red flags about me, I could do that. I got vlogs on my channel. Go on right ahead. The real reason, though, that I really do these case studies is for you to see the patterns and the behaviors of people, especially men. And women, but mostly men. We're focused on men on this channel. And this man from day one has proven to be very selfish and very comfortable in his ways. He's an old head. He's stubborn as a mule. Not only is he stingy, but he's also selfish. The deadly combo. Sis had to go buck on him once again because remember in part 2, she said she went off, and we know how sis goes off. Remember, on the reel, she said, I get ghetto, and I start snapping my fingers and rolling my neck. That's what she said, y'all. I'm not making it up. She said it herself. Go watch part 2. So I can only imagine how feisty she got in that car. Sis was heated. And look at his face. He's like, oh yeah, I remember that moment. Yeah, we had to go to the beach right after. But the fact that he didn't even think of that, he didn't even include that in the itinerary, that tells you everything. Every time that she wanted something, she had to ask for it or beg for it. It's not that he didn't know. He knows. He just doesn't care enough, which means he's not as invested because sis never had him prove his investment. So now he's just doing what he usually does because, you know, he's always usually selfish and she just goes right along with it. And then when she starts throwing a tantrum, that's when he's like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. So from my understanding, they just drove around and watched the scenery. Mr. Cheapskate just wanted to drive and go through the scenery. This just goes to show you that no matter how much money someone has, it doesn't matter, because if his mindset is the scarcity mindset and the cheap mindset, then that's what you're gonna get. Now that we've heard their wonderful wedding stories and honeymoon story, there's a correction that I need to make. I was able to find a relationship Q&A that Adam and Tamera did. It looks like I will remove one red flag from Adam because he did say that one of his favorite moments of the wedding was seeing Tamera walk down the aisle. And this video was published on April 1st, and then the wedding video was published in May. So it's quite possible that he thought he had already said it, so he didn't have to say it again. Lord knows. But at least we got one time. So we're gonna minus one red flag from Adam. Just one.
My favorite part of our wedding was seeing her when I turned the corner and looking down that aisle with the flower petals and seeing all of our friends and family from all over the world and seeing her at the end with our pastor and our families, and she looked gorgeous. Aww. And I still think of that view and think, wow. I remember thinking, holy smokes. Aww. I was nervous.
Now that we've heard their wonderful wedding stories and honeymoon story and all that has come to pass, we are going to shift gears and move on to their reality show because it was very messy, especially the relationship between Tia and Tamera. A lot of people who used to watch their TV show Sister and have watched them grow up into adulthood through the years thought that they had a pretty close relationship. But this reality show showed a lot of cracks in the foundation, especially when it came to their sisterhood, competition, jealousy, all that. So we are going to watch a few episodes and dissect a few episodes of Tia and Tamera's sisterhood journey, because at the time that this show was filmed, Tamera was planning her wedding. So the wedding we just heard about between her and Adam, the one that she paid for, that's the wedding that she was planning. And Tia was pregnant and expecting her first child.
It's very Diana Ross. So what's happening with the bridal shower? Is there anything that you want me to do, or?
Well, Andrea's pretty much picked up the slack, so...
What do you mean, like, picked up the slack? she's been doing everything. When Tamera told me her best friend, Andrea, was going to be dealing with her bridal shower, I was upset because she wasn't communicating with me. Well, Andrea's done everything, Tia. You should know. You guys should be communicating. Well, she hasn't shared any information with me. She's told me absolutely nothing. And you know what? If she's, has everything done and she's doing all that, maybe that's what she just needs to be in charge of everything then. Sometimes I just don't get Tia. She's just slacking on the maid of honor duties. And now she's questioning whether or not she wants to be the maid of honor. So where are you now? I'm confused. I would love to be the maid of honor. Our biggest problem is communication. And I don't understand this because we are twins. We should understand what the other one is trying to say. So it's frustrating. She's in her little diva mode. Okay. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. How am I in my diva mode? Because you...
Red flag. Sis, just talk to her. Why you gotta make these little snarky remarks? As they're getting older, you can slowly see them grow apart, which is very sad, actually.
Just because I feel like we didn't finish our conversation, and I just want to finish our conversation. Why do we have to have it here? Because after this, I want to go home.
Tamera's in the right here. Why do you have to have this conversation here? While she's trying on a dress, because it's all about you. Remember, she's pregnant at the time, and she probably didn't expect her sister to get married at the same time. Matter of fact, I know that for sure because there was an article written by People magazine. It is titled, Tamera Mowry is engaged. Let's read it here. Good news seems to come in twos in the Mowry family. Sister star Tamera Mowry has announced her engagement to Fox News Channel correspondent Adam Housley just days after her twin Tia revealed she is pregnant with their first child. Tia announced her pregnancy, and then days later, Tamera announced that she's engaged. I'm not saying that Tamera purposely stole her thunder, but I could see why she's a little iffy and snippy about it because this was supposed to be her grand moment. Remember, she's having a baby with Mr. Corey.
So you got out what you wanted to get out over there. I didn't. Yes, I know. Yes, you did. Tia, thing is, you stepped down, Andrea picked it up, and now because she's done everything. What do you want? Because this is your day, this is your wedding, and that's all that matters. I would like a matron of honor and a maid of honor. No. My ego did step in. I was like, excuse me? Like, I'm her sister. I did not want to share the title of maid of honor. Do you remember Jessica, who's my best friend, wanted to be my maid of honor so bad? Yeah. And she was hurt because she was not my maid of honor. But I said family comes first. I understand that, but this is a completely different situation. The difference is at your wedding, I didn't step down. When I was Tia's maid of honor, I was there for her 110%.
Red flag. So we see here that Tia expects the same type of loyalty, but in name only. She's upset here. Look, she's turning away because she's angry. I could see her eyes starting to tear up. But sis, Tamera actually has a valid point. She's upset because she told her best friend. She's upset because she gave Tamera the maid of honor position at her wedding. And it should... Okay, she's upset because when she had her wedding, she chose Tamera to be her maid of honor instead of her best friend Jessica, even though Jessica was probably supposed to be the maid of honor, but because of family and loyalty, then I'm gonna choose my sister. Whereas Tamera chose her at first, but then switched it up to her friend Andrea. The difference though is that Tamera was actually there and showed up and did the job that she was supposed to do, whereas Tia thought that, oh, she's my sister, she's gonna understand if I'm late, I'm half-assed, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, and she's just gonna accept it because that's my sister. Now, y'all gotta remember that Tamera is planning this wedding all on her own because her man couldn't be bothered to help her foot the bill. So she's under a lot of pressure and stress. And now she's putting those expectations on Tia, even though Tia is pregnant. And I have to give Tia a little bit of grace for the simple fact that she's pregnant. And she may not be able to do the same things that Andrea does, because I don't even know if Andrea is married. Andrea is probably single. She has all this time in the world. However, Tia was married at the time, and now she's pregnant with a child. You cannot put the same expectations on her that she had on you, because you were single when you attended her wedding now. Weren't you, Miss Tamera? Weren't you waiting in the wings for Adam to propose to you? Please. I get their point of views and I can empathize. But at the same time, I feel like she should have at least given Tia a little bit of grace. Just a little bit. Because she's not at the same place that you were. And Tia has to understand that she can't move the same way that Andrea can move. And she needs to share her position.
So I expect the same from her. When you said you didn't want to be the maid of honor, Andrea has stepped up. Andrea has done a phenomenal job. Do you know what we're doing at my bridal shower? She hasn't even communicated with me. Tia, that's because you didn't want to be it. No, that doesn't, just because I didn't want to be the maid of honor. That's the difference. Doesn't mean that Andrea shouldn't have, communicated with me. It's because you said you didn't want to do it. The thing is she's worked damn hard when you said you didn't want to. All right, Tamera. All right. And the thing is I did want a matron and a maid. God, that's not good.
Red flag. She wants Tamera to tell Andrea under no uncertain terms that she's the best one and the favorite. It's a battle of who's closer to Tamera. It's possessiveness, control. She's losing control over her sister and she doesn't like it. First, she lost control over her and Adam, because remember, when Adam would call, she would chase after her down the street. Who are you talking to? That was in part 2. If you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it. She's exhibiting and displaying the same behaviors. If you still talk to her, then you can't talk to me. If she's your maid of honor, then I'm not going to be your maid of honor. It's either me or her.
That's just going to wipe off the makeup. Well, you know what, Tamera? Like I said, Jessica was very devastated. She wasn't my maid of honor. So it'll be Andrea maid of honor or your sister maid of honor. That's all I'm saying.
Sis, go rest, relax, and go have your baby in peace. Trust and believe me. Just take the matron of honor position, because guess what? Let Andrea do all the brunt work and you just lay low. She was giving you that option to be the matron of honor. Just take the title and leave. No, but she wants to control the situation. And we don't know what was going on with her at the time. It looks like sis was very emotional. Things were changing for her. And I'm sorry, but this gives me red flag vibes to the simple fact that she's too focused on what Tamera got going on. So what you got going on, Tia? What's happening? What's happening in your world? Because you got too much time to be focused on your sister and Andrea and what they doing, running around Napa Valley, getting discounts from Adam's family and friends while he's not footing the bill and she's doing everything and planning everything. Why are you wanting to get entangled in that? You should be resting, living a soft girly life. But no, you sitting here trying to be all up in your sister's wedding business. Please.
Tia giving me an ultimatum, I thought it was being selfish. So I'm definitely going to have to make a decision here.
I don't understand why she wants to struggle so much. But remember, she's a butterfly. She loves the struggle of being in the cocoon. That's what she loves.
Tamera, I'm here for you no matter what. I don't want you to think that I'm never here for you, you know?
One thing about it is that Tia was extremely selfish, and being consistently selfish, might I add, while Tamera was planning her wedding. And you would think that because Tamera literally funded her own wedding, that her sister would be more empathetic and be like, you know what, I'm going to help you out because I know what it feels like to be the sole breadwinner of a situation. It was all about her. It was the Tia show. Because, you know, Tia was pregnant at the time with her and Corey's first baby.
You're not going to have any time to do that. No, we're going to make it. We're going to leave early. I'm going to, put candles in the room. Wait, but what time are you going to do this? Because I wanted all of us to get together Saturday night and have my last, hoorah as a single woman. Oh, God, Tamera. Yeah. But I have to do something special for Corey and I mean, I've been so busy. Why do you have to do it then, though? It's our last vacation before I have the baby. You can't do it at your house? Oh, my God, Tamera. Are you serious? Would you have your honeymoon at your house? No. I never thought about that. No, it's like a baby moon. So again, I'm going to be with all the girls and you're not going to be there. Oh, my God, Tamera. We're in the car and my sister calls me again.
Yeah, I tried
calling you like 1,500 times. Oh, sorry. You know what? I was actually on the phone with Holly Robinson Pete. It's my wedding weekend, and I thought you'd at least click over and tell Holly that you'd call her back. You guys were supposed to be here by now. Where exactly are you guys? We're like 2.5 hours out. I mean, come on, it's gonna take us some time to get there. I just need for her to relax and know that I will be there. I gotta tell you what happened. So, on our way coming up, why did Corey and I see a cheetah and a jaguar? A cheetah and a jaguar, okay. That's awesome! Oh my gosh, are you freaking kidding me? They're gorgeous. That was the final straw. I was livid.
On a side note, I love how they always sing and break out in song before they start fighting. Is this a trauma response? I don't know. Let's keep watching.
Alrighty then. But anyway, Tamera, I wanted to talk to you about something. I don't want you to take it, too seriously, but I just felt that I needed to just talk to you about this thing. About what? During your wedding, I felt left out. I felt that it was extremely difficult to communicate with you. I'm so confused. I was confused and a bit hurt that Tia felt left out. Fact is there was always a reason why she was late or couldn't make any of my wedding events. I called you the morning of your wedding, and you didn't pick up. And I was like, okay, you know what? This is the morning of her wedding. I'm going to let her, she needs to relax. She needs to chill. And I finally got a hold of Andrea. And then she goes, you know what? She's eating breakfast right now. She's turned off her phone. But I would have wanted her to say, Tia's been trying to call you.
Red flag. Now, Tia, sis, you were nowhere to be found the weekend before her wedding.
You want to call your sister? But basically what she was doing is she's answering these questions on your behalf. And so I'm thinking you're telling her this. What you're communicating is completely not the truth, especially about Andrea. I'm sure if she understood how you felt, she'd be like, oh my gosh.
Red flag. Why would Tia need to say that? It's your wedding day. Your best friend or BFF, bestie, should know that and should understand that. It was an important time for you to talk to your sister. But nope, she wants to be in Tia's spot. I could see it from a mile away. She gives me that vibe. That whole oh, I'm going to be your best friend. I'm going to be at your house every day. And the whole time, she's plotting. That's why she did that. Because there's no reason why she would not have passed the phone to you. Any normal person would have been like, you know what, let me go check with her and see if she's okay to talk to you right now. If she's too busy, maybe you'll call later. That's it. But no, she's like, oh, she's eating right now and she can't talk to you. And then now Tamera's talking about, well, you should have told her it was an emergency. Why would she have to tell her that? I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. This looks to me like you were okay with her not being able to get in contact with you. And you probably told Andrea not to answer Tia's phone calls because you were mad and angry that she didn't spend the weekend with you. But instead of you clearly and directly saying it to her, you want to play passive aggressive and act like, oh, well, no, it didn't happen like that. No, you're wrong. Tamera, please, you knew what you were doing. Just own up to it and say, yeah, I was feeling some type of way because you didn't show up in my wedding weekend, so I didn't want to answer your call. Done. But no, you want to sit here and play dumb. Like you don't know what the hell's going on. And maybe it's you. Maybe gaslighting 101.
Wait, the other thing was, we're walking to the ceremony, and I said, where's my sister? I said, I want to talk to her before she walks down the aisle. Yeah. And then I look across the hall, and it's Andrea and Keisha fixing your dress. Do you remember you were in a little room before you went? And I'm like, wow, why am I not there? I don't see her for most of my wedding weekend, and now she's telling me I did something wrong. Are you kidding me, Tia?
Red flag. So see, I knew it. Tamera does not express herself, and she blows up. And now Tia's befuddled, and she doesn't understand what's going on because she's like, I'm usually late. You ain't never said nothing to me, so I'm thinking I can just do whatever I want to do. And you're not going to be mad because you never say anything. This is what happens, again, when you're a people pleaser. Tamera is the quintessential people pleaser.
Listen for a second. You said you wanted to be the maid of honor, but you couldn't do a lot of things. So in my head, I'm like, you know what? Tia's just being Tia. I got used to it. And for you, you need to be proactive with your feelings, especially if it's that important. When I couldn't get through you, I got through your next best friend. I said, I've been trying to get a hold of my sister. Did you say, I really want to talk to her. I really want to make sure that I get some words. I personally don't feel that I have to do all of that. That's where you're wrong. Completely different. I would rather want someone to tell me exactly how they're feeling than to say it and then talk about it later. That's all I'm saying. But I'm done. I quit. Let's go. I quit. But it's all good, right? I'm going to think about it for a second. Why do you need to think about it? Because sometimes you're selfish. Why are you crying? How am I selfish? Because you just don't get it. You don't get it right now. So you're this upset about it. The fact that I have to explain to you why I was upset because you were late. You're saying that I'm selfish. Yes. The thing is you don't care. You think about yourself. How am I thinking about myself? I'm sorry that's how I made you feel because that's not my intention. Just like you said with Andrea, that's not my, I hope you know that that's not my intentions in making you feel that way. That's why I'm like, wow, like I'm shocked that this is how you feel.
And now when things get really hot and too hot to handle, she can't handle it. She is unable to tell people, no, yes, I don't like that. I don't like this. She's very indirect. And now she wants to get upset and cry because her feelings are hurt, because Tia doesn't understand, because Tia has been getting away with crossing her boundaries and overstepping her boundaries for years. And now that's why Tia's like, I didn't know it was a problem. You never told me. Yeah, you never told her, Tamera. So both of y'all are to blame in this one. Tia, you should have asked your sister. You knew your sister was passive aggressive. You know when your sister's energy changes. Could have been like, well, is it making you feel some type of way I'm late? Of course it is. Look at her. But then Tamera, it was up to you to tell her. She's not a mind reader, even though she's your twin. Goodness. Next scene. I'm tired of them. Keep crying, Tamera, and then let all them tears out, and then we gonna move on because you need to stop crying and be more direct. Have a backbone or something. Dang.
Wait, I know you as being selfish all the time, so that's not how I know you as being selfish. That's your assumption. That's not my intention. Yeah, that's not my assumption. That's your actions. At that particular point, you have two major things going on. You can't just think about yourself all the time.
In the next clip, we can see this jealousy brewing even more because Tia was able to land a spot, and I guess it has some type of musical component to it. While you would expect Tamera to be happy for her, deep down, she was upset because she's the one who's usually the singer, and Tia isn't.
I'm really excited about this movie. I'm excited about the opportunity. It's called Mistletones. It's a Christmas musical movie. And I leave for Utah at the end of this week. How long are you going to be out there? 5 weeks. That's a long time. No. Are you singing the songs live when you shoot? No, we sing the songs in a studio, and then when we're performing them in front of the camera, they just do a playback. So yeah, there is singing involved, which is really cool. And then there's dancing involved, so I have to memorize choreography. I have to memorize dialogue, and I have to memorize lyrics. But I think I have a head up on the lyrics because I know almost every freaking Christmas song there is. We can thank Mom for that.
In the same clip, we also find out that Tamera's a people pleaser. So basically, when Tamera and Adam got married, they had to live long distance because it looks like Tamera lives in Los Angeles and Adam lives in Napa. Instead of joining him in Napa, she's thinking about what everybody else thinks and what her mama thinks.
Why are you packing to go home? I just don't know if I've made it my home yet. But it is a beautiful house. It is. And it's supposed to feel like home when you're there. What do you think is keeping you from that? I feel torn because my work is up here and my family's up here. You know, my mom, she was so funny. She was like, you're not going to move to Napa, are you? That's what she said. Really? Yeah. She said, I don't want you to move away. So I have that in the back of my head. I have my career in the back of my head. And then also I have my manager. I have you guys, my girlfriend.
Red flag. So I get not moving far away from your family, and I understand that it may be hard to separate yourself. However, you decided to get married, Tamera. You got to put your big girl panties on now. And I don't think it's fair for your mother to ask you to stay closer to her knowing that you are married. And at the time, your mama had her own husband. Now they're divorced, by the way. Spoiler alert. Once you get married, your new life is with your new family. And when I say new family, I'm not talking about him and his parents and all that. I'm talking about you and your husband. Or you and your wife. Not you, your wife, and all these other people. And so now we get a glimpse into Tamera's personality. She's always trying to please everybody. And one thing I always tell y'all about people pleasers is that they will always finish last. While you're sitting here trying to accommodate everyone, chances are that no one is accommodating you. So we can already see this little pattern of her trying to please everyone, including her husband. And I don't think it's going to work for sis in the long run. I really hope that she has developed a backbone since then. However, I'm not going to hold my breath. Let's watch the next scene.
So I just wanted to come by and say bye to you and Cree because I'm leaving tomorrow. I honestly feel like I haven't been able to spend time with you.
That is true. When you're here, I'm gone. When I'm here, you're gone. And that's kind of like the conflict as well.
I have a new family.
Yeah. Wow.
And they want to see me.
But the reality is, I will be seeing less of you.
True.
And you will be seeing less of me, which means you will be seeing less of Cree.
Red flag, Tia. Ma'am, she already has a prior commitment with her husband and his winery. Why are you sitting here trying to guilt trip her to spend the night with you and to cancel her already scheduled plans? Again, we see that people demand so much of Tamera, and I don't think it's fair, to be honest with you. And I notice that especially with families that are very close and enmeshed, there's no boundaries. We can see that there's no boundaries. First with her mother and now with her sister. And mind you, her sister got a whole husband. Why do you need your sister to spend the night with you? Y'all live in the same city. You could see each other any other time. And trust and believe me, I am not defending Adam because y'all know already how I feel about him and his cheap and frugal ways. We can clearly see that Tamera's needs are not being met, nor are they being respected, because everybody just feels like they have control over her and that they're able to manage her life. And she's just willingly letting them. Unfortunately, this is the dynamic that we see between her and her sister, and obviously between her and her mother, and also between her and her husband. Because remember, during the honeymoon, he did whatever he wanted to do. And if we rewind to the wedding, she made it all about them. Even though she paid for it, she still considered him and his feelings. But in the honeymoon, nope. It was all about him. And what he wanted, didn't even consider her. Now we see the same thing with Tia and the same thing with her mother in these examples that I'm seeing. I really, truly hope that we don't see no more of these people-pleasing type of tendencies from Tamera, because, Lord, I can't watch this anymore. So in the next conversation, Tamera is having lunch with her friend Andrea. You already know. I feel like Andrea is just a sounding board to the messiness of the relationship that Tia and Tamera have. So anywho, we have the two of them pretty much being like, exactly. You can tell Andrea is also the same as Tamera. So of course she's going to agree with everything Tamera says.
But anyway, so remember the movie Tia didn't tell me she was offered?
It's a musical.
Oh,
That's like my dream job. My first instinct was, wait a minute. I was the singer, she was the dancer.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I love to sing. I sing in the shower. I don't want you to think that I'm not happy for her,
Right.
and I don't support her. I don't want you to think that I'm jealous or anything, because it has nothing to do with that.
No.
Like, I never get jealous, honestly, because
Yeah.
I don't want anybody else's life. I just question myself. Like, well, what did I do for them not to give me a chance?
Right. Probably saw the success of the game, and they're like, that girl would be perfect for our movie.
I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little, like a little bit confused.
Right.
As an actress, I'm at a place right now where give me the chance. Like, I want to audition, but there is a little part of me like,
Man, I wish I was doing that.
Now, Tamera's upset because Tia said that Tamera's jealous of her. And when I'm looking at this scene, I just see that Tamera is projecting her insecurities.
We had this conversation about jealousy. Mm-hmm. I have to say, I kind of felt uncomfortable with the entire conversation because she was trying to get me to either say I was jealous or she couldn't really understand why I wasn't jealous. Of what? Her role in her new movie. But what I was trying to get her to understand is thinking that way, especially about your own sibling, is dangerous. Right. I hope it's the opposite. Right. When I work, that I wouldn't want anybody sitting around being jealous of me. When I was on Strong Medicine, she didn't have anything. Right. She was auditioning, and then she got the game. Right. But I would never, ever say, "Are you jealous of me?" It just hurt that she thought that way. I don't know. It hurt me. You're not jealous. No. For her to say that implies to me that what I have isn't great. And what I have is great. I don't think that that's the way sisters should be.
Let's roll the clip of what actually happened between her and Tia.
What did I audition for? You look like a detective. Yep. Adam took our car to set up for the wine and chocolate event, and since I'm staying back home to audition, I asked Tia to pick me up. I'm in here rehearsing. What's your first movie without me? Yes, this is my first movie without you. Oh my gosh! Yeah, it is. That's awesome! It was nice for me to kind of see us do a movie separate. Well, I've done movies by myself without you. What? So, something to sing about? How long ago was that? That was after Sister Sister? Yeah, when was that? 1999? It doesn't matter how long ago. The thing is, I did one.
Red flag. You could see it in Tamera's eyes. She was not happy, y'all. I'm not saying that she's not happy for her sister, but you could tell that it was painful for her. We could see in her eyes that she was feeling some type of way. So this whole conversation is definitely going to go left before we even get to her and Tia. Because remember, when she was sitting there with Andrea, she was saying, well, I'm happy for her, but, I'm the one who can sing and I'm the one who should have been in the musical. But, that's okay. It just makes me feel some type of way inside. Not that I'm not happy for her. Please.
What are you feeling right now? Are you feeling intimidated? No, it's not that, because I'm telling you, I'm shocking myself. When I get in that studio, Tamera, I'm like a little kid. I'm having so much fun. Well, see, I just have to say, it was a little weird, because I sing and dance like with my eyes closed. And that's, you do realize you have a dream job right now, right? Yes, I do. Actually, to be honest with you, sitting here, watching everyone go to their auditions, made me go, whoa. I hate to audition. And auditioning, the grind of auditioning sucks. So what I'm saying is like, how does it feel with me in here practicing, doing rehearsals, and you're auditioning? I don't really know the word for it. Do you feel like jealous at all? It's frustrating. I don't feel jealous. Really? I would feel a little bit of jealousy. Your word jealousy is not what I feel, because what jealousy is when you think you can't get what that person has. Really? Jealousy to me is a negative energy, and I don't want to. Having a little bit of jealousy is good to get you going, to be like, okay, all right, I see what that person's doing. I can do it too. There's a difference between competition and jealousy. I think we have two definitions of jealousy. Frustrating and annoying.
Red flag. So now Tia clocked it. She was like, look, I know I'm blessed to have this position and this role that I have in this musical while you're out here pounding the pavement, audition to audition to audition. And I know if I was in your spot, I feel a little salty. Do you feel jealous? And now Tamera got triggered. Tamera, you don't even know the definition of jealousy. You don't. Because let's look it up here. Jealous, feeling or showing envy of someone or their achievements and advantages. Feeling or showing envy. You were jealous. From the examples that we saw, Tia was not wrong in her assessment of your emotion. The problem is you didn't want to accept it. You said jealousy is negative, and it is. However, you displayed it. even though you don't want to admit it. You did. And it's okay. You could have easily said, you know what, at first I did feel some type of way, but I'm happy you got it. Because then that just makes me want to grind harder. And Tia was right. It's like sometimes when you feel some type of way, you got to pinpoint the emotion and then you grind harder to be like, you know what, maybe that's just letting me know that I need to work harder to get to where I need to be, and that I shouldn't be bitter about somebody else's success. It's just not my time, but that just means that my time is coming. So let me not focus on them and focus on me. But no, what she did is she went right back to Andrea, her sounding board, so that she could feel validated in her not being jealous, even though we all see that she was. And then you have people in the comment talking about, oh, Tia was the jealous. No. Tia was showing you that you did feel some type of way because your behavior and energy showed it. This is what happens when you don't confront your feelings and you don't know how to feel all of the emotions that you have. So now we can see that Tamera has some work to do. And I'm not saying Tia's perfect because we're going to get to her too. Let's see what other clips we can get. I'm not going to make this too long because they have tons of clips from the 2 seasons that they were on, Tia and Tamera. I'll just highlight the important ones. In the next clip, Tia was filming a Christmas movie in Utah. And it looks like she bought her son Cree with her red flag. Tia, you didn't have a nanny?
I'm really enjoying my time in Utah, and I'm really happy that I brought Cree, but working these long hours have been really hard, and it's hard trying to balance being a mom and a working actress.
Now, the red flag isn't because she bought her son on the set. The red flag is because what was her husband doing at the time?
I'm gonna be going away to Utah for 5 weeks. Corey won't be able to go. He has to stay in Los Angeles to audition.
I don't remember him being in anything major during that time. And if anything, I would think that Corey would be supportive and be on set where your husband at. Because he ain't working. And if both of y'all are working, where's the nanny?
I just finished shooting, and Cree has been sleeping for hours. I haven't had the chance to tell Corey about Cree crawling because I didn't want to tell him through a text message. I wanted to tell him over the phone so I could hear his reaction.
Hello?
Hi, honey.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm a little tired. Had a long day today.
You working hard? You hardly working.
Red flag. What was Corey doing while she was working? That's what I want to know. And notice how he said, are you working or you hardly working? Ha 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 ha. Sir, we should be asking you the same question. She is watching your son crawl for the first time from a screen. And she's upset that she missed it because she's working. During this conversation, I didn't hear, oh, I'm sorry, babe. I wish I was there too. But I'm working, so unfortunately, we both couldn't see him. Nope. He's like, oh, well, I could just have him recreated in front of us, and it's no big deal. He'll crawl in front of us.
Okay, I would love to see him crawl, but I'll give him a crawl in front of me, and it'll be my first time seeing him, so I'll still be just excited,
Sir, what were you doing? Because it looks like you weren't booked and busy. Because if Tamera's auditioning and she can't find a gig, I know you damn sure couldn't find one.
It's fine.
Why is it okay? Why is it fine?
It'll be better once you get some downtime and, just spend more time with him as not working. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He probably wants to see his dad, too.
No, I know. I think, he misses you. It's just kind of hard finding that balance. And then,
perfect thing.
What?
I can help you out.
What?
Take her to set, and that way you can see him all day.
Red flag. So once again, Tia is basically pleading in an indirect way. You see, the funny thing about Tia, she knows how to be direct to her sister. She's all rah-rah, reptile, roddy, like, yeah, you jealous. I know you jealous. She could pinpoint it. But how come you can't pinpoint when your man is broke? Your man is broke. Because notice how she said, well, I don't want to miss the first moments. What if I miss when he rides his bike? Because, I'm working. Basically, she low-key telling him, hey, you need to pick up the slack and get you a better job so that I don't have to work as much. And so I could spend time watching my son grow up. But nope. He's like, it's okay. It's going to be fine. You keep working, my pretty little mule. And I'm not calling her a mule because of her features. I'm talking about her actions. She's muling for him. That's what's going on. He can't even comfort her and assure her that, hey, you know, right now my money's not up, but soon you won't have to go to work. Don't worry, I got you. Nope. He's like, well, it's okay. You gonna figure it out. Them emotions gonna pass. You know, it's okay. Look right here. You making money for us, so we good. And then I could do my little side auditions. I have enough time to figure out which job I want. I'm gonna let you be uncomfortable while I'm comfortable and trying to figure things out for myself and our family, by the way.
How are you? I'm good. Just working like crazy. The thing is that I wasn't there when he first started crawling at all, which sucks. Yeah. How did you feel about that? I felt sad. Kree is gonna grow naturally. Kree is gonna do what babies do naturally. I was a little frustrated because, you know, I leave at the dusk. No, I leave at dawn. No, wait, which one is it? I'm so tired. I leave when the sun is gone and I come back when the sun is gone. I know you're laughing now, but will you ever be at a point where you're gonna be like, you know what? I want to take a break and spend time with Kree. Why are you looking at me like I'm funny?
Tamera is right. Tia, when are you going to get to the point where you can take a break? She's asking a proper question. But now we can see the situation is reversed. Remember when Tamera was displaying this type of envy for her sister getting that role? Now we can see Tia displaying the envy of her sister being in a better financial situation than she is. Even though her husband is cheap, I never said that he doesn't have it, because he does. My problem with our brother Adam is that he had it and didn't want to spend it on Tamera, who deserved it. That was my problem with him. But best believe they are not in a bad financial position. It's just that sis has to toil a little bit harder than she should. All because Mr. Cheapo doesn't want to put out money. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's focus. Let's regroup and refocus on Tia and Corey. Now, it appears that Tia has to work.
You're giving me the stink face. You know when you give me that stink face and you're like, like, what is she talking about? Yeah, because I'm like, what is she talking about? I'm just responding on what you're saying. And as a sister, I'm trying to help. Basically, what you're implying is I need to stop working right now so I can spend some more time with my son, correct? I'm not. It's okay to work. All I'm saying is when are you going to be able to say no? I completely understand where you're coming from. But unfortunately, you are not in my situation. The reality of the situation is that I have to work. Where do you draw the line? Where are you going to draw the line?
Tamara's right. Tia, when are you going to draw the line in the boundary with Corey? Get a job! Or a full-time stable job. You're not going to tell him that though, right? So now you're upset.
Or you're like, you know what? Instead of doing 5 projects a year, I'm just going to do 3. Because right now what it feels like is you're going to do all 5. In this business, what I believe, and I think that's where our different perspectives are, is that you are okay with sitting back and you feel in your mind that when roles are for you, they will come up for you. I don't feel that way. I feel that this business and this world moves along whether you want to be in it or not. Because when we did Sister Sister, we didn't have a show for 7 years. I don't know when that next time is going to come where I'm not going to be working. So there could be another 7 years where I'm not working. And guess what? I have a child that I have to take care of.
Do you want to know why Tia is thinking that way? It's because she doesn't have someone to fall back on. If she had a husband who was actually providing the way that he should have been providing financially, then those words wouldn't be coming out of her mouth. It wouldn't matter to her, because if she comes back into acting, it'll be something that she just does because she loves it and she can make extra money, but it won't be the only and main stable income funding their lifestyle. She understands that the day she stops working, her lifestyle will be done.
First of all, I did work during those 7 years. But if you're fine with doing that, with the life that you're gonna lead right now, you are gonna miss milestones, but if you're fine with that, go ahead. Now that I know that that's how you wanna live and you're living, I'm fine. I'm done.
Red flag. Tia, you ain't had to hang up on your sister like that. Like, why are you so triggered, ma'am? Sis, get a grip. Get it together. Don't be mad at Tamera because you chose wrong. Oh, now it's not fun anymore. You were listening to Tyler Perry's advice, talking about, oh, all he gotta do is pay the light bill. Oh yeah, he paid the light bill. This is why you gotta be wise with your decisions, because now you getting mad at other people for telling you the truth. Now what, she gonna cry in the next room? Begging Corey to get a job, please. After the first season of the reality show, Tamera had a surprise to let people know. She let the world know that she was expecting her first bundle of joy with Adam.
Adam and I just started talking about having a baby, and this is all happening so soon. I'm excited, but at the same time, a little nervous. I kind of just take a deep breath, look at it, and I see a positive sign.
Congratulations, sis. Now you're going to have a bundle of joy with Adam. Eventually, Tamera gives birth to her and Adam's first son, Aiden. And then they went on to have a second child, a daughter named Afraya. Now, let's speed things up because from now on, I'm going to finish case studies in 4 parts. So I got this last part to finish everything. Let's wrap this right up. So next, Tamera and Adam, they continue on to live their beautiful life in Napa Valley. Tia also gave birth to her second child, a daughter named Cairo. Tia and Tamera's reality show gets canceled after the second season and they go their separate ways. Tamera goes on to continue working on the reel and acting on the side, while Tia continues to act because y'all know Corey, he's a little unstable still at that time. And so Tia took a lot of acting roles. Tamera and Adam, they opened a winery together. And so they started this business as husband and wife. So we're going to just take a quick look at their business and how it's been going for them.
My family's been here for a long time. My dad and mom came here in 1969 and they started doing business here then.
We've been married for 8 years, and I had this crazy idea. And, Adam and I talked about it, about possibly opening up a tasting room in downtown Napa.
Of course you did, Tamera. Of course you were the one who came up with this whole idea. We have determined that you are the brains of the entire household and operation of the Housley family. You are the nucleus that keeps things going. Your man does not have a light bulb in the middle of his head. It is empty. You are the one who does and initiates everything. So kudos to you, sis, for having the idea to open up a business, even though his parents were business owners. And even though you came from the acting world, you have provided your family a legacy. Because if it were up to this man, y'all would have nothing but failed baseball dreams and a Fox News career.
This is my first time owning a business, so when I made the decision, I did have some kind of reservation. I was indecisive about it. And yes, it was taking a huge risk, but I learned that, sometimes in life, you just have to trust your gut, trust each other, and take that risk. Once Elena happened, that entire situation just taught me, life is short. If you have a dream,
Go for it.
Go for it.
On November 7th of 2018, Adam's niece Elena Housley passed away in a mass shooting, and she was only 18 years old. It was a very devastating experience. She is Adam's brother's daughter, the same brother that gave the wedding speech. And you can tell that they were a very close-knit family. She lost her life so young, and my heart goes out to them because that's such a terrible tragedy to go through.
She was an incredible, beautiful girl who didn't hurt anybody and was excited to go to Italy for a program overseas, and senseless, man.
Almost 3 weeks after the mass shooting at the Borderline Bar and Grill, and many are still saying they're Goodbyes. Elena Housley was a student here at Pepperdine, following in the footsteps of her parents.
Elena's mother and I would first like to thank everyone for the wonderful messages received. The art, the letters, the scripture passages, and especially the hugs and the smiles.
I stand before you with my heart broken and completely vulnerable, because I can acknowledge that my heart and mind is being filled continuously by unfailing love.
First 6 months, they were rough. And I was in denial. Sorry. I loved her so much, as the world knows. Yeah, she was my heart. And what I've learned from that entire experience is the gift of life.
She's honoring her with the Elena's Voice Foundation, which works to help young students.
It looks like their work life is going really great, and I'm really happy for them. Looks like they finally found a happy balance between being partners at home and also in business. Now, let's get to a few more of their marriage videos because, like I said, these twins have an extensive amount of content on YouTube, so I'm just trying to narrow it down. Now, the first video that I want to go over is titled Marriage Tag Q&A Adam and Tamera.
Where were we when we first said I love you?
I remember I said I love you first.
You did.
And
Red flag. Sis, you said I love you first. So wait. Hold the line here. So let me get this straight. You reached out to him more than he did you. Remember, you was asking all them questions when he finally got your email address. You're the one who initiated the first kiss. Now we find out that you initiated the first I love you. You're the one who prompted him to finally propose to you because you were waiting for 4 years and you couldn't take it no more. So you broke up with him and then he finally, the light just went off in his eyes. And not only that, but the final straw is that you were the one who funded your wedding. You paid for it all. Except for the dress he pitched in. Thank you, Adam. So, what exactly did he do to pursue you? Except say that he wanted to choose you when your photo was on the professor's wall. This man is not an initiator. And I'm starting to feel like he likes it that way. He wants it that way. This is how he's the most comfortable, is when she's leading the whole relationship. Now, I don't know if this man has some type of neurodivergent issue, but that's still no excuse to not take initiative, sir. You're just lazy when it comes to relationships.
I just said you did. I'm just agreeing with you. Happy wife, happy life. I'm agreeing with you.
The way he said it. I said I love you first, and I remember where I was. My sister and I were renting this house in Oak Park, and I remember it had a second floor, and it had kind of like this wooden, like, wall where you have the stucco, and then you kind of have like the wood, what do you call this? Wood.
Half wall.
Yeah. And I was leaning over it, talking on the phone, and I said, I love you. And Tia's room was just right down the hall, and Tia was like, what? No, she said, that was quick.
I was,
Because we were together for 3 months, I think.
Yeah, she said that was quick because you're thirsty. Tamera, you've been thirsty. Just admit it. It's okay. You wanted to get married. You wanted to have kids. So now this is what it looks like when you're the one rushing and leading the charge.
I mean, I wasn't too long afterwards, but I remember mine was in my condo. Or my apartment is what it was, really. And you were over.
Wait, when I said I love you, did you say I love you too? You didn't say I
didn't
love
say
you
I love
too.
you too.
Red flag. Tamera, are you not embarrassed yet? This is embarrassing. I understand that y'all are married now and you're happily married and you got what you wanted. But when you retell the story, it's just as embarrassing the first time that people heard it, and now the whole world sees it. He didn't even say I love you too. I would have never said anything. Y'all should have just skipped this marriage tag and been like, you know what, the optics not looking good. But she's just so open about it and transparent, which I love. Thank you giving me content. But don't you feel anything? Because now she said, yeah, you didn't even say it back to me. She realized it. What else are you going to realize, Tam? This man wasn't invested. He was never invested. Never, ever, ever, not a day in his life, unless it had to do with what could benefit him. What's sad about this whole entire situation is she could clock when Tia was being selfish, but she can't clock when her husband is. Somehow her eyes cannot read the room. And she can't see and feel the energy. Your man is selfish. Your man is who you think Tia is or who you thought Tia was. That's your man. Your man is the true selfish one. He's happy that you provided him with what he needed and he didn't have to even work for it.
And I remember having that conversation with my sister, and she was like, that's fine. You don't want a person to say, I love you too, just because you say, I love you. Right. I think you said, I care about you too.
No, I would never say that. I didn't say I care about you too.
But you didn't say I love you back.
I didn't say I love you because I don't want to lie.
Okay, no.
Couldn't even say I love you too until he felt ready. And I'm not saying that he should have said it, but at the same time, it's like, bling, 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 sis, you slow down. You need to slow down. That would have been a signal like, damn, maybe I'm too fast. She was faster than him, and even then, he couldn't catch up to her relationship-wise. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the Tia and Tamera case study.